All right, so you have gotten your amazing bag of either Diver Dirt or Aerobica Paydirt. Aerobica Paydirt, slightly bigger, has some more gold. Diver Dirt, nice and thin and compact, and a little bit less gold, but just as much fun. So the first thing that I would do when I'm cleaning gold is I would classify it. Once you classify it, you can use these little guys or you can use your spaghetti strainer. It's up to you. The classification is really useful where you can get everything to the same size, which makes panning much easier, and then a similar weight, which also makes panning way easier. Let's see, this is a 30 mesh, so it's pretty tiny. The one that I'm using is 16 mesh. That's a bit bigger, which is kind of like what I prefer for something that's like quick. Once you classify your materials down, everything is like same weight, same size, and it's just much faster, much more thorough panning experience, and a happier one because fast panning is happy panning, in my personal opinion. I'll go ahead and classify the Diver Dirt. Let's rip open this bad boy. All I've done is I've taken this pan and I've put a couple inches of water in it. This dirt that we have, this is pretty light sand, and then just like a couple of like really heavy like ruby sands, iron sands, just from our sluice box here. So, and then obviously gold. So some of the heavier minerals. Luckily though, in a bag of pay dirt from us, you're not gonna find a lot of like big pebbles and that sort of thing, like the things that really get in your way. So you don't have to worry too much. If you don't have a classifier, not a big deal. You can still pan our pay dirt, but definitely recommend something like this. So I just pour it in and then shake it off, shake it off. Taylor Swift is a big fan of panning for gold. She's a customer of ours. No, she's not, but she could be. So you do kind of shake it off. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the finer material completely out of the classifier and into the pan. You're taking this coarse stuff to set aside and pan later. So all we have in here now is material that's like a similar weight and size, and it's just gonna make panning so much more fast and efficient and easier. I'll give it an extra little shake for good luck and tap it. The tapping doesn't do anything, it just makes me feel better. So we will take this over to our tote and do some panning. Just like a quick brief intro into panning 101. Gold is heavy, sand is not. So the first thing that you want to do is give it some nice shakes from side to side. And what you're trying to do is get all the lights to come to the top of the pan and all the heavies to sink down. And you see that I have the riffles in the pan on this side, and the angle is tilted toward the riffles. So what I'm trying to do is get the gold to make a nice smiley face at the bottom of these riffles. That's where I want it to collect. And then as I put the pan in the water and then kind of shake it back and forth and shake these lighter materials out, then the gold is gonna get caught in these riffles. It's an extra little gold catch for you. The most pro gold miner badass I know has a saying. It's like, if you chase specks, all you'll get is specks. So, you know, you want to be easy with it, but you don't want to be too concerned with losing a speck of gold or two. And gold is so heavy, it's pretty hard to lose. So, you know, it's in the water, you kind of dip it. You want to maintain a nice point of contact with the water. You're kind of like sinking in and pulling out. And you see how I'm just skimming off of the surface of the material? That's the kind of movement we're looking for. Our pay dirt has a lot of nice, light, fluffy sand in it. It's not 100% heavy minerals and gold, because that would be agonizing to pan. Be pretty thorough about just getting rid of the light stuff. That's not gonna take all that long. And don't worry about losing the gold. It's down there. It's at the bottom, it's in those riffles. You've given it a good shake, you've given that gold time to sink down. It's in there, it's waiting for you. The funnest part is after you do this, you get to shake the pan back and do a nice little gold reveal. So I'll do that here in a couple of seconds. Yeah, have a nice beverage and put on an episode of Bering Sea Gold just to get into the spirit of things while you pan our pay dirt. I think I'm ready for a little bit of a gold reveal here. Woo! Yeah, look at that. So this is actually when the tapping does do something. I like to give a little tap at the top of the pan like this because that actually shakes down the lighter material and it concentrates the gold right at the top. So you have a nice little gold smiley face. I pull the water forward and back, and then I tap. And then you make a nice little synchronized movement with it. You can also rock, pulling the light material off and concentrating that beautiful Bering Sea gold. Oh yeah, there's a little gold smiley. Man, I've been doing this for 12 years and I still just love the sight of a nice bit of gold. And a blue pan like this really reveals it. Oh, beautiful. Okay, you see how I'm kind of pulling some gold down? That's a sign that you kind of need to chill out and snifter up this little smiley face. So the nice thing about a snifter bottle, which I highly recommend you get when you're panning for gold, is that you can suck up the clean gold and then just pan the rest of the concentrates that are in here and do some more fine cleaning. The other thing that you definitely need when you're panning our gold is a little bit of soap. There's a surface tension on the water, and the gold likes to, the ultra fine gold will break off and float up and bond with the surface tension, and that's just something special about the mineral. I don't really know why, you tell me. But you put a little bit of soap in there, in the pan, and that dispels the surface tension, and you can go back to work. Going in the snifter bottle. I have my gold in the snifter bottle, and then I have a pan that has a lot of material and a little bit of gold left, so I'm gonna head back and work the rest of it. After you've done a little bit of fine cleaning on your gold, you take it outside and you put it in a metal pan that you never want to use again, and you cook it. You can do this with a propane torch, you can do this with kind of like outdoor stove. The primary thing is the gold does have mercury in it, but you definitely don't want to cook it indoors. The second thing is water adds weight, so it's important that your gold is dry. You go outside, you cook the water off of the gold, it's going to be hot, but then you put it in a nice gold vial, and here you go.